Forget everything you think you know about the future. Seriously, that far-off dream of humanity in space, it's not for your grandkids. It's happening right now, and it's about to get very, very real. That's right, the year is 2026. This is the moment space stops being science fiction and starts being, well, just life. And the wildest part? Almost nobody sees it coming. For the longest time, it felt like we just hit a wall. I mean, we had the incredible Apollo missions, and then our journey into the cosmos just stopped. But underneath it all, a revolution has been building, and it's about to absolutely explode. Think about it. We went from literally walking on the moon to just endlessly circling our own planet. For over half a century, deep space was a place we only saw in the movies. It was this long, quiet pause that made the whole dream of space feel, well, kind of forgotten. So what happened? What on earth flipped the switch? It wasn't some new planet we found or a discovery in a distant galaxy. Nope, it was one single, brilliantly simple idea that completely rewrote the rulebook for space travel. So what is it? What's the one thing, the secret key that suddenly unlocked a future we all thought was at least 100 years away? It all comes down to money. For decades, space was just crazy expensive because we treated our rockets like, disposable bottles. Use them once, then junk them. But then some people started asking a really simple question. What if rockets could be reused, like airplanes? And that one thought, that changes literally everything. Okay, but how in the world do you make a vehicle the size of a skyscraper, one that's tearing through the atmosphere at insane speeds, reusable? I mean, come on, that sounds like something straight out of a blockbuster movie. This is it. This is the magic trick. We now have rockets that not only blast cargo into orbit, but then fly all the way back to Earth and land themselves perfectly, ready to go again. This isn't some crazy experiment anymore. This is the new reality. And it's what makes space affordable for the first time in human history. And with this incredible new key, we are unlocking some very old doors. The biggest one? Our return to the moon. But listen, we are not just going back to plant another flag and take some pictures. No, the plan this time is radically different. Just let that number sink in for a second. More than 50 years. A whole human lifetime has gone by since one of us last stepped foot on another world. This isn't just another space mission. This is a species returning to the cosmos. Okay, so here's the absolute game changer. Apollo was about visiting. This new era, this is about living there. We're not going back as tourists. We are going back as pioneers with the goal of building a real, permanent foothold off of planet Earth. And there's a really clear 3-step plan to pull it off. First, you send astronauts to orbit the moon, test out all the gear. Then you land, but at a very specific, very strategic location, the lunar South Pole. And from there, you start building. But hang on, why there? Of all the places on the moon, what's so special about the South Pole that makes it the key to our entire future in space? The secret ingredient is water. In these permanently dark craters at the South Pole, there are huge reserves of water ice. And in space, water is basically gold. You can drink it, you can split it into oxygen to breathe, and you can even turn it into rocket fuel. It's the one thing you need to build a permanent home off-world. But as incredible as the moon is, you have to understand, it's just the first step. This whole rocket revolution is setting off a massive chain reaction, a kind of Cambrian explosion of new technology across the board. We're not just building better rockets, we're building these incredible new telescopes that can see back to the dawn of time itself. We're launching satellites powered by AI that can practically think for themselves. And we are building rockets with capabilities that make even the legendary Saturn V look small. Can you imagine that? Rockets so powerful they could lift a building the size of the entire International Space Station into orbit in a single shot. We're not talking about little outposts anymore. We're talking about the potential for actual floating cities in space. And here's something really important to remember. This isn't just about what's happening up there. All this technology being developed for space fundamentally changes our lives down here. GPS in your phone, accurate weather forecasts, global internet, all of that came from our journey to the stars. Just think about what this really means. We are living at a moment where a kid born today could honestly grow up and choose a career that doesn't even exist on this planet. They might be the first generation to see Earth from their classroom window, on the moon. But as we're standing here, on the edge of this incredible new era, you start to realize the biggest challenges aren't about engineering or physics anymore. They're about us. The questions suddenly get a lot deeper. When we finally take that step off our home planet for good, are we going to carry all our old baggage and divisions with us? Or will we finally find a new, shared identity as people from Earth? Is this new frontier going to inspire the absolute best in us, our curiosity, our ability to work together? Or is it just going to become another place for conflict and power games? Maybe the most powerful change of all will be our point of view. When the next person stands on the moon and looks back at that little blue marble just hanging there in the blackness, they won't just see a planet, they'll see home. And that changes everything. So the real question isn't just about rockets or timelines, it's about us. Is 2026 just the year we go back to the moon? Or is it the year that we, as a species, begin to become something entirely new?